All right, and we are back with Princess Best.
Hey, hey.
AKA the HipHop Momma. So I have a question.
Yeah.
How did the HipHop Momma, the name, come about?
Oh, yes. Well,
I know you mentioned it in the panel, but for those that aren't here,
oh yeah,
let them know.
It's a simple story. I used to go by the name Princess of Controversy. At that time, it was short for the female pop because that's what I thought. I was like, oh, I'm creating this controversial topics.
Okay.
Once I became a mother, I started studying a few things. I started studying why women were not on the mic in the way that I thought they should be in the mic because I studied under Lauryn Hill. You know what I'm saying? Like coming up under,
Greats.
like you know what I'm saying. And she was the best. She's the best still to ever do it to me. And I think at that point I realized, you know what? A lot of women are not rapping because they stepped away from the mic after they had children, right? So Salt and Pepper, you know what I'm saying? Like so,
they took a step back.
They took a step back. They did rap, but they didn't do it in the full force. I didn't know how motherhood was affecting women's from creating. You know what I'm saying? And so I was like, oh, wait. So I rebranded myself the HipHop Momma because I realized that after I had my child, I was like, I had so many more things to talk about. Like, I was sitting there and I was like rocking my baby and I was breastfeeding her. And I was like, yo, this need to be in a rap. This needs to be in a rap. This needs to be in a rap. And I would never have had that had I not had a child. And so that sparked another creative side. But if I had let, which some women do, if I had let, oh, well, people don't want to hear that. You know, like I say, people don't want to hear that. Yes, the hell they do. Yeah. Maybe not everyone, but there's some woman right now that's like, yeah, I need to figure out how I'm going to write this rhyme while I'm breastfeeding. Hell yeah, that's what we need to do.
You know what? That is interesting. So you have people like Lord Jamar, who says that he does not listen to women rappers because he does not want to hear women shit. Quote unquote. How do you feel about that?
So here's what I say. here's what I say to that. One, what is women shit?
Exactly.
Okay, because as Tupac says, you got your name from a woman, you came from a woman, got your game from a woman, and your name from a woman. Right. So essentially, you are women shit because literally you came from our womb, which means you came through the blood that allowed you to be able to create, to have the voice that you have. So I would say one, that. Here's the other part of that. So if you flip that on the other side and say, well, I don't want to hear men shit. Well, what is that? I actually do want to hear that. You know why? Because mental health in this country is something that we really need to focus on. One of the biggest things that I see with male rappers is them not actually embracing the emotional things that go on with them that so many of our brothers kill themselves over every year.
You know what? That goes back decades. You know, for some reason, mental health deficiencies, homosexuality, whatever, is taboo in the black and brown communities. And if you talk about those things, you are shunned. Right? So when I heard Lord Jamar say that, because like you, I grew up on the MC Lights. I grew up on, Queen Latifah's. I'm 40, so I'm listening to hip hop since 85.
Right, exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So when I heard Women's First, to me, as much as a woman anthem as it was, to me, it wasn't women shit. It was a dope song that empowered women.
Exactly. And I think that's what happens. I think that a lot of times, and we do this ourselves as women, because we have become marginalized in ways that people don't understand. So for instance, if I want to put on an event, right? If I put on an event and if they say, oh, the HipHop Momma is putting on an event, automatically it's a woman's event. Well, we don't say that when it's a man's event. Right. We you know what I'm saying? When a man puts on an event, it's
kind of like a backhand compliment, right? It's a woman's event.
Right. Well, it's the same way. It's the same way in which people use negative connotations when they're talking about, when the first thing that if you're trying to joan on another man, you diss him by saying he's like a woman.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He's like, so if we have society that thinks in that particular way, as opposed to, yo, I love to come and see what brothers are talking about, even if it doesn't directly in line apply to me, I still am like, I can take something from that. And I think what it is that we have to have a shift that what women have to say is actually important. And everything doesn't have to give you an erection. You understand? You know what I mean? If it does, cool. But you know what I'm saying?
So speaking of that, we've seen, Queen Latifah and her Regal, clothing.
Yeah.
We saw when at a time there was only one woman in the crew that wore fatigues, just like the man do. Then of course you have the Foster Browns, Lil' Kims that display women's sexuality. now you have women, that we're seeing sometimes, clothes is optional at times.
Yeah.
What do you think of the shift in Queen Latifah to now?
Well, let me correct you. I don't think it's a shift. So let me say that.
Change.
But I don't even think it's a change.
Okay.
I think that traditionally women have been shamed for their bodies, and so what happens is it's the nanny, it's the mammy versus the Jezebel. Yeah. And see, in order to
Madonna
so it's and angry Sarah. So here's the thing: if you don't listen to women's shit, you don't understand the historical implications behind when a woman, like the fact that a woman has to think about, what do I wear so that I'm computing a certain message. Here's the thing: we all sexual beings, okay? So like, let's just get, you know what I'm saying? Like, but that's how we got here. So the idea is, it's not a shift. It's embracing whomever comes. You understand? So my thing is, I like Cardi B just as much as I like Lauren, just as much as I like Queen. The problem is that we have associated that what a woman wears equates to the value and how she should be treated, which, fuck that. That's not how it should be. You know what I'm saying? The idea is that if I'm a woman, no matter whether I got on a G-string or I got on a dashiki, if I'm saying something dope, then that's what we should be concentrating on. Right. As a woman artist, I just told somebody that on the My Mic Sounds Nice movie, Jean Grey said 99% of the time women fucking dope. But people don't know. And 99% of the time women spend talking about what it's like to, she said 99% of the time women spend talking about what it's like to be a female artist. No one ever talks about your body of work. They don't actually talk about the lyrics that you spit. So here's the thing. So how are we getting people to listen to women's music when we spend 99% of the time just talking about what it is to be a girl? Look, I got titties and ass, and can we get past it? Right. If you like it, cool. I'm with it, but No,
I think one thing, as particularly male hip-hop fans, we always want to try to pit women hip-hop fans against women hip-hop fans. Oh, well, I like Rhapsody. She's not like Cardi B. But Rhapsody said herself that she wouldn't mind remaking Ladies Night, I'm sorry, with a Cardi B.
I love it. I think that should be done because here's the problem. There's such a separation of women in terms of, here's the thing, it's socioeconomics. The college girl and the girl who live on the corner need to do collaborations together because more people need to see we're like, you're a lot more alike. You know what I'm saying? And women are not, we're not these one lane people.
Monolithic, right.
You know what I'm saying? And when we paint people like that, we set ourselves up for fail. That's why we like, if someone that we know that doesn't curse, they curse, we're mortified. Get the fuck out of here. And that doesn't mean that I have anything less to say because you see me as a positive rap artist, that because I said fuck, then all of a sudden I'm negative. Get the hell out of here. I'm not addressing that bullshit. Follow my work. Follow what I do. I'm here for the development of girls and women. And I'm going to make them, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to help them to not make them. I'm going to show them their light so that they see it. And we have to stop putting people in boxes with that, you know what I'm saying, with that type of stuff. That's the reason why women don't rap, because they too busy trying to figure out, damn, what should I wear? What should I say? Say what the hell is really on your heart. Right. I rap about the shit that I really care about. You know what I'm saying? And if I sit here and try to figure out, well, what's going to make you happy? What's going to make you happy? I got girls out here dying, 10-year-old girls to 14-year-old girls cutting themselves because they don't know who the hell they are. Yeah. That's who my raps are for. That's who my raps are for. So what? So what if it's not a multi-platinum goal? What is when I see her see the light in herself and start writing that shit down and she get on a microphone. Right, that's the point.
You know, I wonder how many people know that name escapes me, out of Houston. She's hot now. My name just escapes me.
Oh, out of Houston. Houston. Megan Thee Stallion.
Megan Thee Stallion, she went back. She is actually college educated, and she's back in to take online courses to finish her degree. Right? So you can't be sexual, and you can't be educated. Right? And I think one thing about hip-hop, whether you're a man or a woman, especially in inception, because it started in the ghetto, started with the have-nots, when people started being educated, that was shunned. You know what I'm saying? Like, why do we have to be stuck with being a have-not? Why have to be stuck in the ghetto? Why do we have to be stuck in less than environments? Now imagine being an educated woman. that's sexual and as a rapper?
Well, I mean, so again, I trying away from labels, and I say that because I do agree with you. I do agree that you don't have to be one thing or another. At the same time, what is educated? You understand?
Well, formal education.
Right. Right. And and so I think that the idea of, again, that goes back to respectability politics, right? Respectability, like we respect education in that way, but then it's like, oh, but we come from, you know what I'm saying? People, like, I grew up, my thing is, I tell my students all the time, I grew up in the hood, but I don't have hood stories. Here's why I don't have hood stories. I lived in a 1-bedroom apartment with my mother, my father, my brother, right? But that's what they could afford. But I didn't have a hood experience because my mother and my father was like, you going to school every damn day.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I didn't get to hang out on the block. I was in after-school programs. And artists have to realize, too, because when we were talking about that in there's an access issue. The reason why I had access is because, one, I was an artist. Two, because of my grades. My grades afforded me to be in programs that were available because my education gave me the access. You understand? So when I live in the hood, but when I go to school, I'm in advanced classes, which means I get access to knowledge that other kids who are not in those advanced classes don't get. We got to be honest about that.
Ice Cube's my favorite rapper of all time. He said the hood mentality is a crippling, growth stunting mentality. Just because you're from the hood does not mean that's what you have to be or think yourself as of. Because if you can't see past the hood, you're not gonna live past the hood.
Well, I think it's a beautiful thing. I think in hoods and communities, I embrace that there's beauty in every single thing.
But you don't have to remain that thing. You know what I'm saying?
No. You absolutely.
You're up in the hood, but you don't have to be a hood your whole life.
Right. Or just there are expansive topics of every person's experience. Yeah.
So I mean, I'm from the West.
Okay.
So I grew up, around gangs. My neighborhood was a Crip neighborhood.
Okay.
But I didn't bang. I got you to see the world. My father was in the Air Force, so I got you to see the world. So just because you are from a particular environment does not mean that you have to stay that thing.
Or not. I think the point is that you don't have to be either one.
Yeah, choice. It's not one thing. You can be either one.
Yeah, or you can embrace it all. I think embracing it all allows you to be as authentic as you can be, and I think that's why I hold on. I think that's why I hold on to some of the things that I do. I don't necessarily do them intentionally as part of who I am, but I do think that there's a part that's like, okay, like I dress a certain way because it's what I like. I also dress a certain way because I also understand the game in terms of, especially when I'm performing with young people, right? And it's not, I don't dress differently, but I just turn it up. You know what I'm saying? And that's it. But I think that there's nothing wrong with that. I do what you feel, but do it so that it is. For me, it's about, is it the truth of who you are, and is it progressing someone in whatever way? For me, that's what it's about. Now, other people is different. Some people it's about having fun. Some people it's about that. I think music can be fun. I think it can be informative. I just think that for me, moving the culture forward is really about growing the health of people so that they really see themselves. For me, that's a win.
I say this all the time. I'm not particularly a Cardi B, the artist, fan, but I figure for her to have navigated life and to get to where she is right now, doesn't matter if she's formally educated, she's smart. In order to navigate the perilous entertainment industry alone and the streets, you have to have done something right. You have to have some kind of smarts about yourself. Just because you may not like, her image, do not disregard her mind or where she is or how she got to where she is to be.
Oh, absolutely, and vice versa, right? Just because you don't know who the person is doesn't mean they don't have something of value to say.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And so we have to have more people that are looking for that. Like for me, I illuminate and go look for women. I go look because I know people aren't doing it. So I say, well, what are we missing? Let's go look for it. Let's go. Who are those women that are doing that? If nobody else is talking about it, guess what? I'm a Leo. I'm gonna create the conversation. Yeah. We have to have more people who are willing to do that. And until such time, if nobody else does it, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna be like, yo, let's look at these lyrics. These lyrics are dope. Yo, do you know what they were saying? Do you know what they were saying in this song? song? Like, you know what I mean? Because when I hear lyrics, it hit me so hard. I'll be like, yo, that's my whole life right there. I'll be like, it's like literally the miseducation of Lauryn Hill was like therapy for an hour. It was like, just put that joint on bump. Just put it on bump and heal yourself.
Repeat.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's why so many people when she stopped for the moment, people were hurt. But it wasn't. They
still hurt to this day.
Well, right, because they was like, "Heal Me." That was a healing album.
Exactly,
you know what I'm saying? And but here's the thing, and she said this. We like the picture of her. We love the pretty picture of her. We love the Rolling Stones, Grammys, post Fugees. Yeah, she had a baby and she bad like that. But when she went through, what we say? Fuck her. She crazy.
She fell off. She crazy. Yeah, and she's not.
And she ain't.
She's not.
The Unplugged album was not crazy. She was not tripping.
It was an evolution. That was an evolution album.
The only thing that she did, she didn't show up with makeup on, and she didn't give you the picture that you were used to. And as soon as she didn't give you the picture, we was like, oh, she's washed up. She's a fucked up artist.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
But she just healed you a couple of years ago.
Exactly. Well, I see you shifted. I know your feet are hurting. I'm not going to keep you too much longer.
Yeah, you know. No more than an hour, Jones.
But please let the people know where they can find you, where they can reach you at.
Okay, cool. So I'm on Instagram at Princess Best Speaks. If you're looking for the HipHop Momma, it's spelled MOMMA. I'm also on Facebook. My website is under construction, so you know. But or you can reach me at princessbestspeaks@gmail.com. Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks for giving us a few minutes of your good time.
I appreciate it.
Interview. That's one of our best interviews today, I have to say.
Oh, thank you, darling. I appreciate you. All right. Have a good one.
Same to you. Thank you. All right.